What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video, and as you hear his wonderful, beautiful laugh, that's right, CG Tidus is in the house, and he's bringing along Yunalesca and Kihmari, which is going to be a free unit that is going to be extremely powerful, and I'm hoping my boy gets his due when it comes to his buffs, because I'm going to be pulling on him, and I hope he's great. Let's get into it. So, that's right, my favorite Final Fantasy and my favorite Final Fantasy character are getting their dues here with the CG version of Tidus. It used, at least the Japanese translation for the CG Tidus in Japan was Tidus of Zanarkand. I wish they would have kept that. Star Player Tidus definitely isn't as good. Zanarkand, I love that. So I wish it was Zanarkand, not Star Player Tidus, but it's okay. We also have Yunalesca for a little bit of a mage evo damage kind of unit as another 5-star on the banner, but don't worry, we have a really good step up. And then Asaru is going to be the 4-star base on the banner. Moving on down, like I talked about, we get the good step up banner where you do 25k and you're guaranteed one of them, and then you just prism the other one to make a 7-star. So you can either pick, if you're not a Tidus fan, but you really want Yunalesca, you can pick whichever one with this ticket at the end, and hopefully you get lucky going through, and the 5-star rate on step 5. So if you get a rainbow, you have a 2% of it on banner chance instead of 1.5. And then if you don't want to spend any of your UOCs or you didn't get lucky on here, this is like the extreme worst luck, but it happens way more often than not. You guys can go through here and get a prism for 40 summon coins. So you guys can get the unit straight out the box for a lot cheaper than it used to be when it comes to 7-starring. So again, I love that they keep doing this for the units. Very, very happy about it, and I hope they keep doing it in the future, because this is one of the best step up like banner ways to do this. It's for sure when it's split, but even if it's not split, I really like this step up banner. So moving on down to Star Player Tidus, he is going to be an LB damage dealer. Sadly, they did stick him with quick hit chaining frames from what I have read and looked up, but he is going to be one of those LB spammers. So he's going to be kind of like King Rain, and I loved King Rain, so I'm hoping to be able to use him and get in there and do a lot of stuff. I love the sprite. I think the sprite is amazing. It's my boy. They did him justice here. Now, the first sprite, he looked a little bit weird, but a lot of the first FFBE sprites weren't exactly up to par with what they are now, and I'm loving the way he looks in this new one. Let's look at his STMR and TMR. I'm going to put him about 50%, like a 5 out of 10 when it comes to these two, and I'll tell you why. So we have Calibog, going to be attack 169, water element, 2-handed weapon, enable power of the sun, boost LB damage. So you are getting that nice boost LB damage for your LB damage dealer. You have a really high attack sword, 2-handed, getting that weapon variance, but you are locked into the water element, and there are a lot of units out there that don't give a shit about the water element, so you got to be careful with that if you go for this STMR. It really seems niche, and you have to be aware of that, because you want to imperil and imbue with whatever you can on your squad, and if water's just sitting on your weapon, it's gonna be a little tough. And then we have Ace of Aces, boost attack and water resist by 30%, fill LB gauge every turn, and it's true double hand on it as well, and it's gonna be a materia. So the only reason I say this is kind of in the lower range is only because I feel like everybody and their mom has a ton of these by now. The true double hand gives you X, Y, Z on it. If you don't have it already, gonna be really good for you, right, to fill out your true double hand stuff. But if you do already have it, that's when it's going to be like, it's cool, but, I get that extra water resist when I need it, but it's not the best thing in the world, right? So Star Player Tidus, again, we're going to have to see how his global buffs work. He should come out in global doing pretty okay damage, even if they didn't global upgrade him. When I look at this, it looks like the Super Trust Mastery is the only thing upgraded. You see that red band? We don't see anything for his featured abilities, but again, he is an LB damage dealer, and we have seen it where they don't show anything on the unit's preview page, and they still buff him up. So we'll have to see how they buff him. I'm hoping they do change the quick hit frames. I know a lot of people don't want to take quick hit away from Tidus, but as a Tidus fanboy, I don't want him to have quick hit. Quick hit is so hard to use, and he is going to be spamming his LB, but if they get rid of the quick hit chaining family, perhaps there's some way we could start doing damage in another way to make him even better. So that's what I'm hoping for. Big buffs, because they have been doing that lately with these global buffs up. Then we have Yunalesca, and Yunalesca is going to be like an Evo magic damage dealer, so normally when you hear that, it's not the best, and that's how Yunalesca was on release in Japan. She wasn't that good, and she looks awesome, but she wasn't that great when it came to damage dealing, and we just had a ton of good mages come out. We're going to have a ton in the future that we're still missing out on, like Vivi from Final Fantasy 9, which I know is a fan favorite for a lot of people out there, so I'm not too excited about this. Maybe the global upgrades could push her, but even so, even though I love Final Fantasy 10, I think I'm going for Vivi in the future, or maybe some of you guys have Shantoto already. Probably don't want to be going for this. So STMR is boost magic by 60%, parameter of Espers evoked, and parameters, when setting an Esper by 40%, and evocation damage. So if you're really into all that Esper stuff, if you said, Claic, you're an idiot, I love evocation damage, and we're going to go hard, this is the STMR for you. If you don't care about that stuff and you don't want to try to like really min-max in an Evo damage method, and there's nothing really in the future you're really looking forward to be using that Evo magic on, it's a super skip on that STMR, like real bad. Going down the Trust Master reward, we have Yunalesca's Circlet, Magic and Spirit 43, activate Summoner of Legends Blessing, nullify Disease and Stone. So a really high magic stat on this accessory here with Stone nullification and Disease nullification, and some Spirit to help you guys survive. So that's pretty much what it is, like a stat stick, right? It has really the the stone nullification is good, but more often than not, if you need stone, you're probably going to have a ribbon effect somewhere on your squad. But the really high magic and spirit stat make this TMR, I think, in a way worth it. It's pretty cool. So you can see down here they do have global upgrade on one of the abilities, so I really hope they don't screw over Tidus by not giving him anything, because even like I said, upon release, these two units weren't really that. Like FF10 is one of the most loved Final Fantasies in Japan, from what I've been researching, and I hope it is in North America. I don't know. Most people like 7 here, and 9, and all those other ones 6. So that's a little bit questionable that they would make them not so great, because it seems like maybe they made them not so great as people are going to pull anyway. But I'm hoping at least here, that's what I'm saying, in global, around the world, they buff them up. That's what I'm really hoping for. Asaru is going to have bonds with the Aeons, boost parameter of Espers evoked by 20% and fill evocation gauge every turn. This might be nice if you really need to be summoning the Espers, have it on somebody, get that Esper fill rate every turn. It's very niche, but very very unique type of ability to have in a materia to be able to slap on somebody. So if you're having trouble maybe filling that Esper gauge, you got to summon a lot of Espers in a battle for a mission, maybe Asaru is for you. Moving on now, we have an issue report that's been updated. Something about the story cutscenes not working. However, we are aware that there are still some looping cutscenes and they'll work on it. So always be paying attention to those issue reports if you have a problem with the game. And now we're moving on to Xanarkand Dome, which is going to be the King Mog event for Final Fantasy X. And again, we have Kihmari here. And Kihmari is going to be one of, if not the best ever Moogle free obtain unit in the game. This guy can spam double Mirage, okay, on your squad. This guy can go on your team, put up double Mirage on everyone, AoE, so you can double get miss on physical attacks, okay? It is absolutely bonkers they give us that on this, and for the first time ever, and I mean, you guys have probably been getting the STMRs all this time. I haven't. I didn't think they were that great for the free units. This one is super powerful. Attack 177, boost damage for jump attacks. Spirit Lance, guys, when it comes to using Sid, and we're going to be using him in Dark Visions or anywhere else in the game, if you're using Dragoons, this thing right here you need to farm for, okay? Do not skip this one. Do not skip it. And do not skip Kihmari. You're going to need him. Like, seriously, he is freaking vital, excuse me, not volatile. He is volatile, but vital when it comes to a lot of these trials. This guy is amazing. Definitely pick him up. His TMR is boost attack, HP attack magic by 30% and fill LB gauge every turn. So it's just like a newbie TMR. It's fine. But like I said, he's going to have some... he has Entrust, Reflex, enable allies to evade some physical attacks 2 times. He can spam that every turn. It's not a cooldown. It's just you spam it every turn. He is going to be put on a lot of teams when it comes to damage. Like, there's going to be a series boss battle for Final Fantasy X. All physical damage, some of it can't be evaded. So, what all you do, you take Kihmari, evade, double evade, double evade, double evade. You're going to be great. So, and also, it's Kihmari, so that's cool. Moving on down, let's see. We have this rod here, attack 30, magic 105, spirit 20, activate Yevon's treasure, reduce MP consumed by abilities about 10%. It's not the highest magic in the world, but it is it is Yuna's weapon. So definitely gonna pick that up, but it's not nothing too crazy. Knowledge of the Aeons, boost MP and spirit by 10%, perimeter of Espers evoked as perimeters when setting an Esper by 30%. Again, I mean, it's all about the Aeons anyway, the Espers, so Final Fantasy X, so this might be why they're kind of leaning towards that here. Moving on down, these are not the units you will get a boost in a King Mog. I saw people getting confused about that. These are just getting 100% parameter boost, so they're stronger in the event. Moving on down, these are the units that you'll get the boost from. So you have Kihmari, Tidus, Yunalesca, and then Lulu, Tidus, Eject, go to the 100% here with Yunalesca and Kihmari, and then as you move down, you can get even Riku, the old Riku, and Brother. Oh, good old Brother. I'm sure you guys can't wait to use him. So these are the ones you're going to use. So don't get confused. A lot of these units up here will not be giving you a boost. You need to be looking down here for it. I wish they just made them all give the boost. They pretty much gave it through the house at you anyway. You can go preview the Tidus LB there and get some cool stuff. This is going to be the Final Fantasy 11 like mini trial thing. You'll be able to go in and fight. What do we get for it? Let's see. Remove some status effects from one enemy and activate Chrono Shift next turn. Chrono Shift, boost attack, defense, magic, and spirit for all allies. Not wasting a materia slot on this anytime soon. So yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe, no. There's just no way. Latent ability updates. Auron and Lulu are getting buffed up. which is great. Looking on down through these abilities again, I want to wait for them to come into the game. But I do think that Auron will be the prize here when it comes between the two of them. Lulu will do okay damage, but not the best in the world. She's never really been on top anyway. So even with these latent abilities, they don't save her. But Auron's going to do pretty good again if you're looking for a breaker. If you're looking for, and you don't have one, you can use Auron for the time being after this, I guess, these latent abilities if you'd like. But there's going to be a Final Fantasy X-2 banner, and it's going to come with Riku on that banner, and that is the breaker of the future. So if you're looking for somebody to super summon for you, love Final Fantasy X, but you're like, I already have so many damage dealers. I love Tidus, but I don't know what to spend on. There will be a X-2 banner. It will have Yuna, Pain, and Riku. Okay, and you need to get Riku because Riku is the best breaker, so you need to go for Riku. We have login bonuses in Final Fantasy X, the exchange shop, the revival summon, and this one right here just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's summon on this revival summon. I don't care what it gives you. Like, these are all the old units, and they're not good, none of them. Like, I mean, Jack kind of got buffed a little bit, but really not that much. Tifa took the crown there, and Tifa's pretty good right now, but she's not. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know what to say. I just don't touch that. Just don't touch that. That's my opinion. Just don't touch it. Even though I love Final Fantasy X, don't touch it. And there's really the rest of it's just the exchange shop and then 20% summon ticket you can get from the summoning and everything like that. So it's crazy to think that like I am so pumped about this data mine to see what they do for my star player Tidus. They better not butcher him. They better make him super strong. I mean, oh, you guys got your chance to shine. Not everybody. I know some of your units aren't out yet or they got screwed over. I'm really sorry about that. But I don't want it to happen to Tidus, all right? My boy deserves it. He's awesome. Look at that sprite. He looks badass. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you're going to be pulling for these units, or if you're going to wait for Final Fantasy X-2 Riku, because I highly suggest you at least do that. Subscribe for future content. Catch me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Claic Yuzolt. We're going to be pulling a little bit earlier than normal, so around 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. EST. Be ready for that. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.